So next up will be the women's A 1500 metres. A couple of big name athletes in this event. Probably the biggest name, Morgan Mitchell, with the number 6 hip number, kicking off her Tokyo campaign with 1500 metre.
Yeah, that's right. She's been up at Falls Creek as well, so we'll see how some of that aerobic work up in the thin air at Falls Creek's benefited her here today.
So cash incentive for this one. 412 or better would be quite an ask from any of the field here. It would get them $500. 420 to 417 would be the $125 cash prize. So that's sort of the range that some of these athletes may be looking at. But for the bulk of the field, they'd be looking for a good hit out and a solid PB on this Tuesday night at Meet 2 of the Milers Club.
So going through our start list, hip number 1 will be Shani Landon of Maccabi. Hip 2, Paige Campbell, unattached. Hip 3, Bridget Humphrey of Deakin. Hip 4, Neve Tabbitt of Coburg. Hip 5, Emma Hogan of Glen Huntley. Hip 6, Morgan Mitchell, Western Athletics. Hip 7, Lauren Cockrell of South Melbourne. Hip 8, Melissa Newald of Doncaster. Hip 9, Stephanie Condigonas of Keilor St Bernard's. Hip 10, Kelsey Vickery of Mentone. Hip 11, Victoria Scalzonis of Knox. Hip 12, Lauren Connell of Essendon. And Hip 13, Bernadette Williams, who will be racing unattached.
So a couple of these athletes, Bernadette Williams and Bridget Humphrey, were both listed and ran in the 800 metres. So I would suspect they will not appear physically in this field tonight as we see the athletes come through the first 200 metres. Morgan Mitchell, the tall figure, in second place. And leading the way is Paige Campbell, the athlete from New South Wales there, with a PB of 4:22.
Yeah, Campbell looking very strong. Morgan Mitchell, though, looking very comfortable.
Emma Hogan, the athlete from Glen Huntley in the light blue crop top, is sitting just on the heels of Mitchell as the field is quite spread out. PBs range from 4:13 up to 4:43. So by the finish line, we will see a spread of about 150 to 200 odd metres between the first place and the last place athletes. Paige Campbell running very strong ahead of the field, James.
Yeah, we had 72 seconds through that first lap, so right on about 4:30 pace if Campbell can maintain that. But it's looking like Campbell will be doing much of the work herself at this stage. Although on such a beautiful night here at Box Hill, maybe not such an issue with the lack of wind here blowing around. Morgan Mitchell just in second place there, and Hogan of Glen Huntley leading that chase pack, although Shani Landon now of Maccabi just moving up.
Neve Tabbitt
Hogan,
running.
Tabbitt, and Bernadette Williams.
So that is Bernadette Williams of Western Australia running in a second event for the night. She might even be doing that Steigen 1 competition in a few weeks, sort of practicing for that with the series of races, only 7 minutes, odd recovery between. So bit of practice for Bernadette Williams there as we look to the front of the field and see Paige Campbell just extending that lead ahead of Morgan Mitchell. Morgan is running very, very strongly in that second position. So 600 metres to go.
So Morgan Mitchell entered with a seed time of 4:30. Not sure if that's quite the personal best or not, but definitely looking very strong as she'll be coming up to 500. Paige Campbell, though, looking like she'll be very difficult to beat at this stage. She's looking very comfortable, very strong. But if there's anyone in this field that's got the pace to be able to catch her over this last lap, it is Morgan Mitchell.
It's a 400-metre runner.
Yep. So
now
3:15. So definitely under that 4:30 pace.
Bernadette Williams, very, very impressive, running alongside Shani Landon as they come in. 400 metres to go. They collect the bell as the whole field does. Neve Tabbitt from Coburg in the red singlet is running a strong race as well.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Bernadette Williams at the moment, backing up after that 800. And like you said, perhaps perfect preparation for the Steigen 1 if she is running in that in a couple of weeks' time. But over on the back straight, Paige Campbell, this has been a fantastic run from her. She's taken it from the gun. Morgan Mitchell, though, has run much of this race by herself and looking very strong as well.
Morgan is closing very strong. Look at Paige Campbell, but Morgan Mitchell is bridging that gap. I don't know if she'll catch her, but she is charging into this last 100 metres. Shani Landon just behind them, closing very strongly as well. The athlete from Maccabi, Bernadette Williams and Neve Tabbitt closing this 1,500 metre race as we see Paige Campbell cross the finish line in 4:27. Morgan Mitchell in 4:28 to open her season. Shani Landon, Bernadette Williams and Neve Tabbitt all around that 4:30 mark, give or take a second. Kelsey Vickery, Lauren Connell and Victoria Scalsonis.
So some fantastic running by those girls. I suspect that'll be a personal best for Morgan Mitchell. She'd entered with 4:30 and she just managed to dip under that. Paige Campbell strong running from the very start.
Good kick-off for the season anyway for a few of those girls. Paige Campbell, very strong, too good on this occasion. And Bernadette Williams, very impressive. Backing up.
Impressive. If those coaches of the draft for the Steigen one are watching at the moment, keep your eye on her because she's certainly able to back up